Hey YouTube, in a video making mood today. So this probably isn't going out today. Harley Benton, these are very popular these days. It's like it seems to be millions of YouTube videos, so there's probably lots on this guitar, but none by me, or not for this model. So this is a PRS Custom 24, I think. The numbers are on the back. It's a CST 24 Deluxe. Obviously CST 24, it doesn't, it's just complete coincidence that it looks a bit like a custom 24. Yeah, so we've got, I'm not sure really anything about this apart from the fact I've just set it up and modded it. It's got Roswell pickups in it. I imagine 24 fret, yes. Carved top, contoured on the back, set neck. Yeah, Wilkinson bridge. I was going to say, I don't think it's got Wilkinson tuners. Serial number starts 21. That implies it's absolutely brand new, made in 21. I don't know if that works. 21 in brackets. Made in Nam. So you weren't there. Yeah, so this it can't be that new. It's only February. This is the 21 model. Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure you can find specs of this. I think it was they're Thomann, aren't they? I think they're Thoman's home brand. My pal Wayne has actually just bought a couple of guitars from Thomann, and now we're in Brexitania. Things have changed a little bit. I will do a video on that once I've worked out exactly how much he ended up paying for them. Because it used to be when we were in the EU, basically, if you spent, I think it was £100 on stuff, because I fell into that trap before. If once you spend £100, you get free postage, so you kind of pay what the thing is. So the thing is, you end up sitting there, and it's, I was always going to buy. Actually, I wanted to buy a Behringer fuzz pedal for like, I think it was only 20 quid, really cheap, but it was like £9 postage. And then I started realising that, hold on, if I buy two Behringer pedals, it's still just £9 postage for the both of them. And then actually what spurred me into it is I wanted to buy 8-string bass strings, which were the only place I could get them was Thomann, and they were like 10 or 12 quid a packet plus the £9 postage. So I ended up kind of just buying lots of stuff to get up to 100 quid to get free postage. So I'm a wee bit sneaky that way, but I don't think that works anymore. I think there's something to do with VAT, because it's no longer inclusive of VAT, or it is up to 130 quid. Anyway, I'm going to do a video of that once I've got the details. You can still get stuff from Thomann, so I think the prices of them may have varied a little bit, because you're now paying VAT separately, but also customs charges, and I'm not sure exactly how that is. I keep seeing horror stories about folk buying, I don't know how true these things are. You know, a woman bought a £100 leather jacket and got an £80 bill on top of that sort of thing. I don't know how true these things are. They're non-verified. So the chap brought this in just for a quick setup. The neck was actually too straight, so it was buzzing out a little bit. The action wasn't as low as it could have been, so I actually had to undo the truss rod a little bit and bring the neck forward a bit to get some relief in it. No, I've said it, I've still got it set up quite low, so I managed to lower the action quite a bit on it. Also, this is my first shot of, these aren't paradigm strings. There was a packet of paradigm strings. These are NYXL, whatever that means. I think they're expensive, so they might be they don't feel elixir-y. I don't know what the specialities are in. Forget that. What did I put paradigm strings on that Epiphone SL? Yeah, so this was just in for a setup, and also the chap was saying if there's anything I could do with a really, really thin sounding, when you coil split, it's got a push-pull coil split on the tone control, which splits both the pickups into single coils, and it sounds really thin on the bridge pickup. And I was looking at it, and it's like, it wasn't not working. It's just the way it was designed. I have sorted it. Sort of. There's a little bit of a caveat. Is that the word? So basically, what it was doing when you coil split it, it gives you the neck. You listen to the neck coil of the neck pickup, and you listen to the bridge coil of the bridge pickup. So I've now made it so that instead of listening to the bridge coil, you're listening to this coil of the bridge pickup. The downside is it's no longer hum cancelling when you've got both of them on in the middle, but obviously this pickup's really close to the bridge, or this coil's really close to the bridge and this one isn't there, so that was kind of why it was really thin. So now, when you're listening to it, there's a bridge humbucker, and then that's it split. See, there's hardly any drop in volume. I could obviously make it so that to keep the hum cancelling thing, I could make it so we were listening to the inside coils, but the neck pickup sounds better in this position. I've often thought that when I'm doing coil splitting myself. Of the bridge pickup, the neckmost coil sounds the better of the two when you're listening to one of them, and in the neck position it's the neckmost coil as well. Like that's why I put a coil choice switch in some guitars. You can choose between them. But it's dead easy to do that. I was going to do a video of me doing it, but really it wasn't worth it. To do that, all you're doing is basically this is a push-pull pot. So a pickup has the split wires. You've got like a hot and a ground, and then in the middle you've normally got a white and a red one, depends on which pickup it is. Sometimes use different coils, different colours. If you ever look inside a pickup, you'll see them, two of them are stuck together often and then taped off. So if you imagine the ground wire starts, goes round one coil, comes out on the red wire, goes back in on the white wire, around the other coil and out again. So you're just kind of basically it's really the wire that joins the two coils together. So if you take that and you stick that on a switch that puts it to earth, it cancels out this coil, and instead of putting it to earth, which is what this guitar did, I snipped that wire and I put that wire to the output of the pickup. So instead of taking the wire and putting it to earth, which basically cancels out, it cancels out this one, I put it to the where the pickup goes to on the switch, which cancels out this one. It's pretty simple. It's dead easy to put back as well if he doesn't like it. Just a case of taking the wire off, the jumper wire off this switch and putting it onto earth, and then it's back to the way it was. But I mean, I think that's a pretty good single coil compared to humbucker, and it was quite significantly quieter before. There's always going to be a bit of a drop in volume when you go from humbucker to single coil. Yeah, so this guitar is really heavy. If I get the luggage scales out, maybe it's not. It's maybe not that heavy really, but compared to what I expected it to feel like, I'm sure I did one of these. I'm not sure what make it was, and it wasn't a particularly heavy guitar. Whereas this one is quite heavy. Lug scales work. There we go. Right. So it weighs 4.3 kilograms. If I can just press that button, it turns it into pounds. They are over 9 pounds if you're American. That's pretty heavy. That's kind of a relatively heavy Les Paul, I think, which is probably good for tone and things. I'd imagine the body's probably mahogany. That might be a maple cap on it, or it could be a veneer. I'm tempted to say it's a veneer, but I don't know. You'll be able to find the specs. So I'll stick in a wee loop, nice and power out of it. Danger of that being a Guns N' Roses song, eh? Bridge single coil, neck single coil, both in single coil, using the Lady VC15, coming through that speaker cabinet. no pedals on apart from the loop pedal and the Moore drummer pedal. Both humbuckers. Neck humbucker. Bridge humbucker. Joyo US Dream pedal. And that's Joyo's Harley Benton as well, is it? A single coil bridge. That's a really good sound. Back to humbucker in the neck. Both are humbuckers. Both in single coil. The bridge is my favourite sound in this guitar actually. Maybe that's just because I put it I'm just going to check. I believe PRS copied Washburn with their 25-inch scale for this guitar because it's meant to be sort of halfway between the 25.5 for a, hold on, probably hear me better, had that mic angled away so that the bass didn't make it distort. So this could be it's a 25-inch scale. So a Strat's 25.5 or a Strat or Tele 25.5, a Gibson's 24 3/4 scale length, as in from bridge to the nut, and PRS had this great idea of making it somewhere in the middle because you've sort of, it's kind of like a Strat, sort of, and it's basically halfway between a Strat and a Les Paul. But Paul Reed Smith stole that idea from Washburn because the Washburn wings are 25-inch. So I suppose the theory there is you've got like if you coil split it, you've kind of got a Tele / Strat or Tele / Strat, yeah. See, there's accidentally played a Guns N' Roses song there, sort of. very much, I would say the neck feels Gibson-y, less poly, but it feels more Fendery length. You've got the weight of a Gibson. Got a nice volute in the back there. Quality, it does have a trem bridge. I believe the treble arm is actually in the case through next door, which I haven't put in it. It's sitting tight to the body anyway, so I've not really messed about with it. I do the Roswell pickups. I have come across them a few times. They're all right. They're pretty good. I like the Harley Benton pickups. Really, you'll be able to see there whether it's a. Yeah, it's just a veneer. I was saying there, I wasn't sure whether it was a cap or not. It would be. You can see in this cutaway bit. That would be cap, if it was a cap, or you'd be able to see how deep it was. It might actually be a maple. I don't know, it's been painted in such a way you can't see it. Yeah, I have no idea what the price of these are. But pretty good guitar. I would say the weak point is, when you saw at the start of this video, I was saying, it's got Wilkinson bridge. Bridge seems great. I was like, don't think it's got Wilkinson tuners, because the tuners aren't really very good. They're a little bit crunchy. They're all right. They just don't feel that well. They don't slip in like that. It's not a necessary upgrade. They're kind of like they're a bit of the cheapy type. Dead easy to change them though. I'm pretty sure it's a really, really common thing where people buy Harley Benton guitars and buy new pickups and buy new tuners before they've even played the guitars. Personally, I probably wouldn't change them. They work. It depends how annoyed I would get over the next 6 months. Maybe this guitar is brand spanking new, and it's very rarely I ever actually get absolutely brand spanking new tuners. Maybe they'll smooth them out a little bit. They work all right. They just don't feel expensive. They don't slip. But I mean, Harley Benton guitars up here taking over the world. The number of people that rave about them. Did need a wee bit of setup, but I mean, assuming this was straight out of the box, it wasn't set up badly. It still played pretty good. It wasn't like buzzing out all over the place. But I think any guitar you buy now, I mean, I'm always complaining about my pal who keeps buying Epiphones and they come in and they're just hideous, like needing work to make them play to start with. It did play. I've got it a good bit better, but it was intoned. The intonation was fine. The neck was just slightly over tightened and the bridge was slightly high, and it just needed adjusted. But then again, if this was set up in Germany and then brought to Scotland, it's different temperatures, different humidities. It could have been done in summer. It's also freezing just now outside. It's literally snowing. So that these things do make a difference. I mean, truss rods are there to adjust a guitar. It's not just a case of adjust it once when you get it at the factory and that's it forever. Over the years, especially if this is new, the truss rod will need adjusted, because over time the strings pulling on the neck will pull it like this on any guitar, even the most expensive guitar. Maybe not an aluminium neck guitar or something like that, but any wooden neck guitar, even if it's a £5,000 Gibson or whatever, will still need, after a few years, it will need tightened up. That's what it's there for, to compensate for it. So if you fancy a PRS, then, and you don't want to pay for a PRS, I mean, I don't know. I mean, is this not? It's similar from a distance looking as the one that's pure 10 grand or something stupid. The one with the big dragons and stuff like that. I mean, quality wise, it's not bad. You can tell it's not it's not a £1,000 guitar. It's pretty obvious it's not. But then again, what are the important things? The important things is it plays well. Everything's in the right place, and it sounds good. So that's kind of the important thing, is that you can sit there and go, but there's a few wee bits of the binding that are a little bit untidy. It's maybe not quite. It's like if you're going to be sitting there looking really closely and trying to find wee niggles where the paint overruns a slight bit. Fair enough if you're paying £2 grand for a guitar, but you're not. At least I hope not. There's no way this is a £2 grand guitar. But it sounds really good. It'd be interesting to see what this was compared to the PRS SE, because my pal actually has. The reason I know about this guitar is my pal's got a custom 24 SE model, and I didn't like it. It was to me, it was too expensive for the guitar that he got. I can't remember, £300 or something he paid for it, and it's like, it wasn't. it wasn't worth that. But then again, I think again, what year was that? There was moments like PRSSE moved about different factories, so you can get one from 2010, and then you get the same model from 2015. And apart from the fact that they both say PRSSE on it, that's the only thing they've got in common. Everything else is made differently, different woods, different procedures, so a completely different guitar looks the same. I think there's a bit of that. I was surprised this was made in Vietnam though. I wonder if it's made in the same place that made Spear guitars, because that's about the only other guitar company I've ever heard of that came from Nam. In fact, actually, now that I've mentioned that, which I didn't really think about, it does kind of feel a bit like that Spear. I've got there's elements of it, just because I go through so many guitars. I can kind of, there's unquantifiable elements that I can kind of pick up a guitar and go, yeah, this is a Fuji Gen one, or yeah, this is a Matsumoku one. You know, just by playing it, as opposed to just looking. Obviously, some things you can tell by pictures, but I can see this. This is not. This feels a bit like what Spear guitars do. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was the same factory. Again, my changing the coil split. I should have done a video of it with the coil split the way it was done. When you pulled it out, it really lost all its power and became just too thin. Whereas that one to that kind of just adds jangle. Obviously, it lowers output a little bit much. So again, big thumbs up for this guitar. If you like the look of it, then I'm not really faulting it. Again, maybe the tuners are a little bit of the weak point, but I think that's about it. I wouldn't change the pickups. The bridge is awesome. Everything else, the fretwork's all good. No razor fret ends. What matters is good. So I don't know. Am I going to take a guess how much this cost? I'm tempted to underguess because I know that you can get Harley Bentons really cheap and they're a pure bargain. So is it like 250 quid? Is it more than that? Is it 350 quid? I don't know. I wouldn't have said it was a rip-off at 350 quid, to be honest, if you're comparing it to the equivalent Epiphone or Squire Classic Vibe or something like that. It's got the headstock might not be, it's not very PRS-y, a little bit, it's not bad. CST 24 Deluxe. Rock on!